Hey guys, how you doing? Dave from Cook and Share here. Today we're making up another simple and delicious recipe, Cousin Shirley's lentil soup. And who better to describe it than Cousin Shirley?
Thanks, Dave. I'm looking forward to sharing this fall lentil soup with your viewers. It's hearty enough to stand alone with a nice thick slice of bread, or light enough to have as an appetizer before a main course.
So let's get started.
Okay, we're going to start with a cup of lentils, and it's always a good idea to give them a thorough rinsing before you use them in your recipe. One of the things that makes this recipe so delicious is using real butter. This recipe calls for 2 tablespoons. So we'll go ahead and melt this down. Now that the butter's melted down, we're going to go ahead and add 2 cloves of garlic chopped and 1 small to medium size onion chopped, but not too small. It's nice to have the bits of onion in the soup after. Let's saute this for 3 to 5 minutes. You want to soften up the onions and garlic without browning the edges. Now let's add the broth, 6 cups of chicken broth. We've got a couple of different choices for broth we can use. You could use things like OXO cubes, Knorr's, a boughten broth. What I like to use is my own homemade stock. Look for the homemade stock recipe coming soon. After that, we'll add the lentils. We'll follow the lentils with about 2 cups of cubed potatoes. Give it a little stir and let that simmer for about 20 minutes. The soup has been simmering for about 20 minutes. The potatoes and lentils are cooked. I just did a taste test, which is important to do a couple of times while the soup is simmering. I felt it needed a little bit more salt and pepper. I usually start with a half a teaspoon of salt. Give it a taste. If it needs more, add a little more. To spice the soup up, we have a couple of choices here. Regular black pepper, or for something a little spicier, try cayenne.
Well, Shirley's spicing the soup. I just have to get my little joke in. How do you know when you're having rabbit soup? When there's a hair in it. Anyway, back to you, Shirley.
Well, there's no hairs in this soup, Dave, but it sure does smell good. Now it's time to add the tomatoes. Dave, I like to use organic as much as possible. Here I have an organic tomato if you'd like fresh tomatoes, but another option is to use a can of stewed tomatoes.
That's really a good idea, Shirley. Go organic, guys.
We'll just let this simmer about another 10 minutes. During the last 5 minutes of simmering, we're going to add 1 tablespoon of freshly squeezed lemon and half a teaspoon of turmeric, my 2 secret ingredients. Lastly, stir one last time, turn the heat off, cover, and let stand for 10 minutes. Ladle into a bowl and enjoy.
And there you have it, guys. Shirley's delicious homemade lentil soup. Okay, let's go ahead and give this a taste test. This is really good, Shirley.
It is. The late addition of the turmeric and lemon gives it a rich, buttery flavor.
You're gonna love this. We're definitely gonna have you back on the show.
Thanks, Dave. I'd love that.
Stay tuned for more of Shirley's fall recipes. Head on over to cookandshare.com for this recipe, and don't forget to subscribe and give us a thumbs up. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.